Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I'm going to do the collective for today, Friday, March 21st, 2025. You may follow me on the book, the talk, the tube, the lemonade, the blue sky social, the fan base, the Insta, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, fabulous. We love that for you. Whatever does not, please just leave it on the table for someone else so you don't take on energy that wasn't meant for you. We're going to use Rare Rebel. She's still got a few decks left in her store if you are interested on Etsy. I have a copy of it in my my saved list or whatever, but I don't know if I'm going to buy another one or not. We shall see. We got one on the table. Three on the table. Okay, did you guys know, do you know about Howard Johnson? The hotels, the inns, the motels, motor coach inns, whatever they used to be referred to. Howard Johnson. Believe it or not, I am old enough to have stayed in them a couple of times in my younger years, and for some reason, I literally just thought of Howard Johnson, but I was thinking of like old Howard Johnson because I was thinking of Mad Men when he's in the Howard Johnson. They go on vacation or something like that, and he's in the Howard Johnson, and it's like the 60s. And the only reason I knew, so I'm like in my mind, I'm looking at this Howard Johnson's, and the only reason why I know what it is because I see him in the picture. But I'm looking at the Howard Johnson's, and I'm like, that's the restaurant. That's a restaurant. And then I was like, oh, that's the restaurant at the Howard Johnson. I think they're all gone. I don't know. I always hear conflicting reports on that. Like, there's one open, there's not one open. I thought that there was one left open, like in Ohio or Pennsylvania or something, and then it finally closed. We got 5 on the table. Anyway, I don't know why I'm thinking of that. I really don't know why I'm thinking of that. Maybe if you were a kid, maybe you stayed there in the 60s. Hey, you'd only be like 20 something years older than me. It's not that big of a stretch there. Okay, is someone in transportation or someone interested like in travel, but is someone like because as soon as I said I don't understand why I'm seeing that, I saw a train like today, like more like well, I mean trains look like trains, but like back in the old days they look different. Train cars. And I was picturing like a train pulled up at a station, but it's literally like a little wooden building with a little platform in the back by the tracks. And then I was picturing I think a river runs through it. I think that's who it was. I don't know if they ever went to a train station though. I was picturing like a movie from like the early 90s. I don't think it was Legends of the Fall. Both of those are Brad Pitt movies. Maybe it was maybe it was A River Runs Through It. I don't know. Like an old timey, very simple train station. And I'm picturing like the old travel cars, like when you used to travel on trains, not like Metro today, like old travel cars. 7 on the table. We're going to do 2 more shuffles. Someone's planting red roses, or you have red roses in the garden. In the garden. 9 on the table. I think that came out first. One more shuffle. And I'm seeing like a big spider web. No spider in it. Maybe near it, but not in it. Or on it, I should say. And it's funny because I saw a spider web, but then I heard wasp. Like a wasp to the spider web. We got 10 with bottom of the deck. Okay. Why do I feel kind of lunatic-y today? I'm going to set that there. I'm dressed like Christmas, by the way. I have red pants on, and this is actually my St. Patty's Day shirt, which I should have wore to work on Monday, but I completely forgot. So I'm wearing it today and Friday. And then I have my fancy pants hat, which I absolutely love. I bought this at the Christmas Bazaar at St. Bede's. And I don't know if that's technically Fox Lake or Ingleside, but in Illinois. Oh, pardon me. I kind of look like a color freak today. Which is fine because I went to work all dressed in black and navy, so it's pretty much the staple there. We got blocked. Lovers. Gossip. Air element. Yarp. New direction. Narp. Do you know what that's from? Do you know what that is from? We got solitude. Evil eye. Always with the damn evil eye. Man, now my nose is itching. Happiness. Trust your gut. Gentleness and grace, bottom of the deck. Feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. It doesn't matter. NARP and YARP. What is that movie called? I have it. I love it. I don't watch it all the time anymore, but I used to. If you've ever seen Shaun of the Dead, with Simon Pegg, he does another movie where he's a cop in England, and he gets banished from London and has to go to this small town and be a cop there, and they supposedly are like crime free or something like that. But when he gets there, he finds out there's actually a crime ring there, and there's like a bunch of stuff happens. And there's this big doofy looking guy, and he always says yarp, yes, narp, no, and it's hilarious. It's got Simon Pegg in it. I cannot remember the name of the movie. Ugh, that's annoying. I literally have owned this movie on DVD, Blu-ray, and now I have it on my digital on my Prime. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, very funny movie. If you ever want to take a watch, it's very funny. I love British stuff though, so European stuff. I grew up on that. Air element, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I don't know why I don't say Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. It just doesn't sound right to me. So, someone blocked a lover's situation with gossip. So, someone blocked two people from getting together with gossip. This person could have been an air element, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or have it in their chart. Or either of these lovers, okay, could have been an air element or had it in their chart. Let's say you are one of these lovers. You're being guided in a new direction. Right now, and this could have happened to people in the past. This could still be getting ready to happen. This could be happening right now. Either way, whoever is the blocking gossiper is also the evil eye thrower. Okay, and you are being guided to just be at peace. Okay, with the solitude, the happiness, the trust your gut, the gentleness and grace. Just go about your life, live your life. Don't. The thing is, we always say like, oh, people can't block what's meant for you. What's God given is God given, and I really and truly do believe in that. I do believe in that. But if somebody's out there trying to block a connection with some type of gossip, whispering in someone's ear and so forth, there's an effect on that, right? Every action has a reaction. Every reaction notes a new direction. And, if this gossiping person whispered something into someone's ear and then they decided they didn't want to get into a connection with you, all of that has repercussions. There's repercussions for the one that gossips, and there's repercussions for the person that doesn't have their own fucking mind, right? Because in all honesty, somebody whispering in my ear and saying, oh, I don't think you should be with so-and-so, this, that, and the other. I heard this, or I saw that, or Billy Bob, Tammy Sue, whatever, saw so-and-so down at the Mercantile. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Somebody whispering bullshit into your ear, and you're going to let that influence a decision that could affect the rest of your life? Why? Why do people do that? Why do people listen to other people? Why? Why? And the sad thing is that both of those people then get karma. The one gets karma because they're the dirty dealer, and then the other one gets karma because they were stupid enough to fall for it. And don't get me wrong, obviously, if you're friends with somebody and you're trying to get into a connection with another person, and that friend is like, whoa, wait a minute, like I used to know Tommy and Becky, and I used to work with them or be friends with them or whatever, and I can tell you quite honestly, don't get into this, that, and the other, and blah blah blah. Or the reversal, right? Saying, hey, somebody's fabulous, how come you don't date them, how come you don't get with them? There comes a point when you find out you're taking advice from the wrong people over and over and over again, and you're left standing alone. If someone is always whoa, what was that? Twine? A lisp? I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes I lisp, but all of a sudden, like, I feel like, okay, so don't get me wrong, but if you take advice from the same person, right? And somehow, every time you take this advice from this person and you end up alone with no lover, no friend, no connection, whatever the case, would you keep taking advice from that friend? Or would you start to wonder, like, hey, how come I always say, I'm interested in dating, and I bring in all these women or men, and I ask for an opinion, and all I ever get is, I don't think they're right for you. Like, all of them aren't right? Like, none of them are ever right? Like, somebody doesn't think that that's suspect? And what is the connection to that other person? Like, for me, example, like, if somebody were to, let's say I'm friends with this guy, right? But I'm trying to date this other guy, and my guy friend goes to that other guy and says, hey, listen, bro to bro, like, she's not very dependable, not very reliable, she flirts with everything, sometimes sleeps with everything, and so forth and so forth. So this guy is no longer interested in me and stops talking to me. Don't you think at some point you would realize, every time I introduce someone to this guy friend of mine, that this other person that I'm interested in disappears? Like, wouldn't I find that kind of concerning? Like, wouldn't I think that that's kind of odd? And the sad thing is we all want to believe that people have or want the best for us, and that's just not always the case. People are jealous, people are envious, people are competitive, and all unnecessarily. I um I was talking to my friend at work cuz yesterday, I think it was yesterday or really early this morning, but I think it was yesterday. There was a picture. Somebody had posted a picture on Lemonade of Keanu Reeves and his girlfriend. And There are all kinds of comments on there like, oh, I hope he's happy. I hope they're really happy, blah, blah, blah. And then there were other comments on there. You know the ones. Like, I think she's all wrong for him. I don't think she's right for him. Instead of getting on there and admitting you wish you were that woman, because I can wish that, I can openly admit that. I would love to be with Keanu Reeves. Bring him on. But when I saw the picture of them together, especially her, she looked really happy. And I cannot remember her name for the life of me. Beautiful blonde lady. She looks really tall too. Maybe I'm wrong, but she looks really tall. Um, and I put on there, I said they look really happy. And I said I hope to one day be this happy in a relationship as they are today. Love it. And I did my little prayer, heart, and peace sign. And wouldn't you know, somebody had to get on there and comment on that. And the comment was, well, looks can be deceiving. You never know what goes on behind closed doors. And you know how Hollywood is. Nothing is as it seems. Jealous? Are we jealous? Because listen, like I just said, I can openly admit, like, again, I can't remember her name, but I'm jealous. Like like if I could kick her out of the way and take her place with Keanu Reeves, like I would. I'm not gonna lie. There's no reason to lie. It'll never happen. You know? And it's a joke. Because in reality, when I look at them and they look happy, I'm just happy that someone on this planet found love and they're happy together. Because that's all you should really ever want for another person. My whole point is people should mind their own fucking business. When people get into relationships, they need to figure out those relationships for themselves. And some people don't. Some people get into relationships they shouldn't get into and they don't see it. And they're in them for years and then they finally get out of them and they're like, what the hell am I thinking? What the hell was I thinking? There are other people that get out of relationships and 10 years later, they're like, that was probably the love of my life. Why did I let them go? Not everything ends biscuits and roses. Some endings are bittersweet. But you better be you're damn tootin' that I will listen to your advice, but I'm not necessarily going to take it. And if somebody is telling me over and over and over again that that a person isn't good for me, I'm not going to think in my mind, hey, you didn't think Sally was good enough for me. You didn't think Tina was good enough for me. You didn't think Marcia was good enough for me. Like, is there something going on here? And I'm that type of person, thank God. I make, like, I will ask people's advice and I will listen to it, but at the end of the day, I make my own decisions. And even if, a week later I'm like, well shit, that was the wrong decision. I mean, I'm adult enough, I'm human enough, I'm woman enough, I can admit that to myself. I don't need to listen to somebody's advice 100% of the time, and I would never do that anyway. So whoever these two people are, the one that's gossiping and the one that was maneuvered out of a lover's situation with you, those are two people that will both receive karma or are receiving karma. Because you just don't do that to people. That's not for you to be involved in. And if someone is jealous or pissed off or envious or competitive or and I'm just going to say it, possibly in love with another person that they shouldn't be. Come on. Wasn't that what, it wasn't the wedding planner. What was it called with Julia Roberts? And her friend got engaged to the younger woman, and then she was trying to like get him to change his mind, and then basically realized like, God, what was that? It wasn't the wedding guest. The wedding date was with what's her name from Will and Grace. Yeah, I know too many movies. What the hell was that movie? Maybe it wasn't called Wedding? Maybe it was just The Wedding with Julia Roberts? I don't know. But it was like she was trying to interfere with her best friend's engagement and then kind of realized, you had your chance, you blew it. And some people, and I don't know about this gossiper, but some people are just outright unhappy people and they don't want anybody else to be happy, you know, which is sad. Because again, I don't always feel like I'm at my happiest. I can be honest about that. There are times when I'm lonely. There are times when I'm depressed. I find my own way to work through those situations. And overall, 99.9% of the time, like I'm happy on my own. I'm happy being single. And I've had stints in my life, long periods of time in my life where I've been single, where I haven't been with another person. So I think I think for me, being single, being celibate, the question always that is in the back of my mind is, will love ever find me again? And I look at it like that because again, like I gave all of that up to God. So if love finds me again, it finds me again. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I love myself. I love my cats. I love my home. I love my work. And I couldn't really ask for more than that. I live a pretty peaceful existence since I've cut people out of my life that didn't need to be there. I'm pretty fucking happy most of the time. It's just hard for me to believe that people can just be so hateful and self-involved that like they're so unhappy they want everybody else to be unhappy too. I just don't get that vibe. I don't understand that. I'll never understand that. Cuz that's basically whoever this is. Because look at it like this. This gossip blocked a lover's connection for you. You went in a new direction. You went on with your life. You maybe didn't even notice this. You might not even know who the fuck I'm talking about. Maybe you do. I don't know. But you went in a new direction. You were living your life happy in solitude, going with your gut, showing gentleness and grace to yourself and others. And this person is still sending you evil eye. This gossiper is still sending you evil eye. Like they fucked up your lover situation. They took your lover from you. And you're still happy. You're still living your life, going about your life, la 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 la, you're happy. And this person is still pissed off. It's like they wanted you to cry and whine and be depressed and act out and act a fool, and you didn't do it. And this person is like, what the fuck? Like, what do I have to do to get you to act like an asshole? I don't know. Maybe they're just the only asshole. I don't know. And the funny thing is I've said this before. Like, and other readers have said this before, and I really actually do, for the most part, believe this is true. If you don't believe in it, or you have no idea that it's happening, um, you're probably gonna have no, like, you're not gonna feel this. You're not gonna feel this. Let me put it this way. I make so many manifestations. I talk to God about so many things. I call back my energy and my power every day. I cleanse and protect my home every day. I cut the cord from people I don't want in my life absolutely every fucking day. And I'm not kidding. And I have never felt more at peace in my life than I have these probably like last 6, 8, 9 months. And I'm not gonna lie, there was a period where I was like, oh, they're not hurting me. They're sending me evil eye. I'm not getting it. When I tell you that, I remember I told you guys, like, at the beginning of 2023 when I started my healing journey, I went through that month like where I was in pain. Like, literally my whole body was in pain for almost a month. Okay, probably like September, October 2023 to like probably like, I don't know, like April, May of last year, 2024. I probably went through a period of time where I was so freaking exhausted. Like, I just felt like I had no freaking energy. And I had bouts where I was fine. But for the most part, like, nothing. Like, I was tired all the time. I was out of it. I couldn't sleep and I was still tired, and I started doing the manifestations for calling back my energy and my power. And I started cutting the cord last year. Not on a daily basis at the time. I think I was doing it like once or twice a week, like every couple days or something like that. And I gradually increased it. And I increased my sage burning and my Palo Santos and my prayers and talking to God and saying, "Hey, don't let these people in my life, don't let them fuck around with my energy. I don't want them here. They're not welcome here." And it changed. It changed. I got my energy back. I feel better in my home. I don't usually feel out of sorts anymore. For the most part, I feel pretty good. I just, there are ways to combat that. If you think it's possible and you think it affects you, there are ways to combat that. I think I'm gonna let it go with that. I hope the messages resonated for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you found it entertaining. I hope you all have a great day or a great evening wherever you are, and I'll talk to you later.